Hey friends, this is Kat and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so you guys already know the drill. There's going to be a lot of background noise and we can't do anything about that. It's the reality of life. Let's just accept it. So I'm sorry. I hope that it won't bother you that much. But for today's video, I'm super duper excited to share all of these with you, even though I wasn't expecting that I'm gonna film a video like this year, because at the beginning of the year, if you've watched my previous videos, I tried to reevaluate the way that I collect books, or I collect things in general, but specifically with regards to reading and buying books. I was trying to practice to be really more intentional with it. So that's what my goal for the year. But here we are in October and we have quite of a book haul, same old, same old. It's still a good thing, I guess, but this is the most books that I've bought this year, so I was just surprised, okay? But anyway, let's get into this video. If you want to know what are the books that I've bought in the past month or more, I don't know, just keep on watching. So first off, I'm going to share these books with you by genre or category. So if you are interested in specific genre or age group or category, you can go ahead, check the timestamps on the description box, and also the chapters are available on your screen. So please do that. We're going to start with my favorite book haul among all of these, I guess. These are the books that I got from MIBF. So, if you don't know what MIBF is, it is Manila International Book Fair, and it is a book fair that happens annually here in the Philippines. So, specifically in Pasay at SMX Convention Center. I went last month and I did a whole reading vlog about it, my experience, my time with my friends. So, if you want to check it out, it's gonna be linked down below as well. But when I went to MIBF this year, I wasn't really planning on buying anything or attending any book signing because I didn't check the schedule for the MIBF. But my friends knew the schedule, so I was just tagging along with them, and my friends encouraged me to buy the books as well. So I'm just weak like that, okay? I'm easy to talk to. I'm easy to convince, okay? So with this 4 books, 2 of these are from new authors that I haven't read yet in the past. And then the other 2 are from one author that I already knew and admire, and I was really excited to meet him. But anyway, let's get into the first 2 books. The first one that we have in here is Mars My Zombie by Chuck Berry J. Pascual. So this, again, we don't know anything about this, but my friends knew about it and the author as well. So of course, I've got my signed what? Signature and the dedication from the author and the illustrator. The illustrator is Alejandro Inigo Fadul, and they were really nice, and I was very honored to meet them. Alright, so this book, based on the title, this is going to be about a zombie apocalypse. So this is set in 2028, wherein the zombies already overtook the whole world. We're going to follow here a main character named Mars, and that's all I know about this. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what they're going to find out in the book, because they said that it's going to be something interesting. Super excited about this. But by the way, this is written in Filipino or Tagalog, so if you're an international viewer, I'm so sorry, I cannot recommend this to you. But as I've said, I'm super excited. If I can squeeze this in this month because of the spooky Halloween season, I will definitely do that. But if not, I'm going to read it very soon. The next book that I've got, I think this is also another YA fiction, and this is Alon and Lila's Last Summer Before Doomsday by Ingrid Valenzuela. So I think this is a debut book by the author, and again, they were very kind. This was also signed by the author and the illustrator. There you go. So again, this purchase is brought to you by my friends because I don't know anything about this book. I haven't seen it. I don't think that I know the author, but I was very interested because it's about doomsday. And if the zombie one was set in the future, this one is set in the past. This is set in the doomsday prophecy during 2012, if you can still remember that. So this is very exciting. I would probably read this on summer just because the setting, all the references And this is written in English, I think. Yes, it is. So if you want to try a Filipino authored book that is YA and fun and fiction, you can go ahead and try this one out. Okay, let's move on to the next two books. Again, these are from the same author that I already knew and I admire because he has written such great fiction, such great novels in the past. And this is books by Ricky Lee, and I was so happy that I met him, that I was able to talk to him, took a picture with him, and have my book signed by him. So we have here si Amapola sa 65 na Kabanata. I haven't read this book yet, but I've seen it so many times before, so I already kind of knew about this. So this is the dedication by Mr. Ricky Lee. And then we have here Sa Bahay ni Marta, and this is the dedication that was written. As far as I know, these are both adult fiction, I guess. This one is about a gay impersonator. Their name is Amapola, and they are also like manananggal. What is manananggal in English? But I guess it's gonna be like fantasy-ish because there's a manananggal in here. But yeah, this is written in Tagalog, and very, very much excited because I enjoy Ricky Lee's writing style. And then the other one that we have, so this is going to be about an old house and about an orphan. So I'm just gonna update you once I know about these books. I would probably read it August next year so that it would be fitting for my theme every August. So I'm excited about these books even though I don't know what this is about. I'm sorry. So now let's move on to the other books that I have acquired in the past month or so. Let's go first with the fantasy books that I have because I think these are the least number of books. I have here a few middle grade fantasy, and most of these are sequels to the series that I've already read and loved, and I want to continue the series. So we have here the very first one is Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend. This is the third book in the Nevermore series, and actually I didn't buy this book. This was gifted to me by my friend Richard, and if you are following me on Instagram, you probably knew what happened when I received this book because I didn't know who it is from. So yeah, that's like a whole different story. But thank you so much to Richard for this gift. I truly appreciate it. Nevermore is definitely my #1 favorite middle grade series right now. So I'm so excited to read this. So obviously, I cannot tell you what the third book is all about, but the whole series has the chosen one trope. We are following here the story of Morgan Crow, who was raised in a community wherein they all believe that she has a curse, like she's a cursed child. And because of that, she is an outcast. And then one day, one mysterious guy will invite him to go to this mysterious place called Nevermore. And then circumstances will happen that will force the guy to get Morgan out of her house. So he will bring her to Nevermore, which is a very fun, whimsical, magical place, and Morgan is going to discover about herself and find new friends and family in this world. And it's going to be a lot of adventure, a lot of conflict. But again, as I've said, if you know like the structure of a chosen one trope in middle grade, you probably have an idea what the whole series is all about. So this is already the third book, and I'm already on this one. So I want to read it by December something, so that it would be like a very whimsical, magical vibe, I guess. Alright, so another sequel that I have in here. This is also one of my favorite middle grade series right now, and this is the second book. This is Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Alston. So this was just released, and I was glad that I was able to get like a signed copy or a signed edition from Fully Booked. So this, as I've said, is a sequel to a book called Amari and the Night Brothers, and I've read that book in the first half of the year, and I truly love it. And just like Nevermore, this also has the chosen one trope. If you enjoy that kind of trope in middle grade fantasy, I think you're also gonna love this book. So basically, the whole series is about Amari, our main character, and just like Morgan Crow in Nevermore, she is also kind of an outcast because she's poor and she's black, and she lives in this like kind of hood community, and she was raised by a single mother and her older brother. And then one day, her older brother will go missing, and everyone will presume that he was dead. But then sometime later, Amari will receive a mysterious package, and it's going going to be an invitation to this mysterious place as well. So it's kind of like similar to Nevermore, but I swear it's different, but I love both of them, okay? So I might try to read this book as well in December, just like this one, so that everything would be fun and light and happy and joyous. So yeah, like the Christmas holiday season feels, okay? Now let's move on to another fantasy that I have bought this year. This is a YA, I guess. YA to adult fantasy. I don't know how to categorize this by age level, but I think it's YA because it started young and ended up still young, I think. So this book is one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and you probably know about it already because I've done a whole reading vlog about this book and I freaking loved it, okay? I loved it. Because of that, I don't have any regrets that I got 2 copies of this book. So this one is Babel by R.F. Kuang, and I have here 2 editions. So this is the US edition that I got locally, and then I received my pre-ordered copy, and this is the UK edition from Waterstones. We pre-ordered this a few months ago. It is signed, and this is my very first signed R.F. Kuang book, which makes me so happy. I loved it. There you go. And it has like sprayed edges. I think I preferred this cover than this one, but I am not going to talk about this book anymore because I've done a reading vlog already. Basically, this is a dark academia, young adult fantasy. It is set in Oxford University during the 1980s. If you want to know my thoughts about this book, just go ahead and watch a reading vlog. It's non-spoiler, so you don't have to worry about that. Those are all the fantasy books that I have. As you all know, I'm not a fantasy reader, so I'm very picky with the fantasy books that I buy. So let's just move on. The next ones that I have in here are contemporary fiction. Let's go first with some YA that I have. So these are YA books that I got recently. Let's start with sequels of this series that I thought I'm gonna love so much. But I've read the second book and I'm having second thoughts. But anyway, these are the sequels to The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So we have here The Hawthorne Legacy and The Final Gambit. So this is the second book. This is the third book. So I've done reading the second book a few weeks ago, I guess, but I not loving it as much as I loved the first book. And then I haven't read the third book yet. Some people said nah, this is so much better than the second book, so I was hoping that it's going to redeem itself, like the series would redeem itself for me. By the way, before I forget, this was gifted to me by my friend Trish, and I'm very grateful for the gift as usual. So yeah, going back to what I was saying, I haven't read this book yet and I am also very excited. Basically, the whole series is all about this girl who is raised by a single mother who was recently deceased, and she was poor, but then a huge turn of event will happen wherein she will inherit a billionaire's entire fortune. But there's going to be a lot of mystery in here as well because we don't know the connection between the dead billionaire to the main character, and that's what we're going to try to discover all throughout the series. So yeah, I'm very much excited to finish the third book. I hope it gets better. I hope it will redeem itself. I hope this will be fine, okay? Not gonna be a favorite, but I hope it's decent, you know. Now let's move on to the next one. I have in here a few books that I've bought because I've loved the books that I've read from these authors. The first one is Dig by A.S. King, and this is one of my like longest TBR. So when I was trying to unhaul a lot of books in the past few months, I also unhauled like the hardcover of this book because I was trying to get the paperback edition. So I got it finally from National Bookstore. So this, I don't know what this is all about, but because of A.S. King, I know that this is going to be strange. This is gonna be kind of like fabulism. So according in here, this has 5 estranged cousins who are lost in a maze of their family's tangled secrets. So there's going to be a lot of secrets as well, just like the Inheritance Games. So their grandparents managed to take away for them, so there's $1 million back. While their reasons after their 45 teenage grandchildren, because of the cousins try to build a lot of social life they started taking more. As a result of the Henry started, but this time the cost of the family. So it's gonna be about family drama, and there's going to be a mystery I guess. And I am going to read it no matter what, okay? So we're gonna put that down. Now, last one on my YA fiction pile, I have here another book by the author who I love so much, and you already know that, guys. This is The Piper's Son by Melina Marchetta, and if you know me in the past 2 years, I love Melina Marchetta. I vouch for this author. I would read everything, anything this author will write in the past and in the future. Like, I just love her. She gets me. So far, I've read 3 books by this author and she never disappoints. So I'm looking forward to read this book even though I don't know anything about it. According here, 2 years ago, it's about a favorite uncle who was blown to bits in a London tube station. Oh my god, it's gonna be another sad story. He's going to deal with his own shit. I'm sorry. He's going to quit school, turn back on his passion, and try to survive with a pregnant aunt and an alcoholic father. So it's gonna be a roller coaster of emotions. Super excited for this. That's it. That's all you have to know about me and Melina Marchetta. We have a connection. We have a deep level of relationship. So excited for that. Anyway, let's move on to other piles of books that I have in here. I have here some adult fiction, and these are varying genre, I think. Let's start with a mass market paperback that I got from Booksale recently. This is Still Alice by Lisa Genova. I think this is an adult fiction that has a main character who has Alzheimer's disease, I guess. So that is the reason why I got this book, because a lot of people really love this, and they've said that this is very inspirational and very emotional, and it will probably make me cry. So yeah, that's the main reason of all of that, okay? And then I have here 2 books that I have already read in the past month. We have here a romance book from one author that I've discovered this year that I love so much. This is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. So this is the 3rd book that I've read from this author, and I also really like this one. This is a friends to lovers romance, and we're following here Alex and Poppy, and they have this kind of tradition wherein they spend their summer together. Like, they do trips every summer. So we're going to start off with the present, wherein a few summers ago they have a falling apart. So that's what we're going to try to discover all throughout this book. What happened to their friendship? Why did they stop going on trips or on vacations? Why did they stop talking or communicating? I would just probably go and review this book on another video. But basically, I love Emily Henry, and I'm gonna read everything she writes, I promise. So again, I have here another book by an author that I love so much, and one of my favorite authors of all time. This is a new release, one of my most anticipated releases of this year as well, together with Babel, and this is Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So as I've said, I really love this author. I think you all already know that. The 3 books that I've read from her are some of my most favorite books of all time. So this one is set in the same universe as Evelyn Hugo, Daisy Jones, and also Malibu Rising. So Carrie Soto is one of the greatest tennis players of all time, or during his time, I mean. It was during 1980s. And then something happened to her, so she had to retire. And now in the present, during 1994, she is planning to get back into tennis. As I've said, this author is just like a staple on my shelf, so it's no surprise that we have this one in here. Now let's move on to the last genre, which is thriller, mystery, horror-ish. Let's start with a middle grade one, and this is a book that I've been really wanting to read for such a long time because of a lot of good reviews, and because it's like a classic horror in middle grade. Also, I want to watch the movie because the adaptation, as people said, is really good. So this is Coraline by Neil Gaiman, and I definitely don't know anything about this book, but I've seen a few clips here and there. I already knew that it's gonna be set in a house, and the house has this mysterious entity which I don't know about, so that's all I know. So Coraline just moved into this house and she's going to find something mysterious about here. And yeah, I'm just really excited about this book. I don't think I ever have to like explain this because it feels like everybody has read this book except for me. So I'm gonna deal with that in another time. But this is the only middle grade horror-ish that I have on my haul. So now we have here the adult thrillers. These are some of the books that I've got from Booksale. I've been going to Booksale more often lately, so yeah, I've got some mass market paperback, which I love. I have here Dear Wife by Kimberly Bell. So I don't really know anything about this. Can I just say that I don't read the synopsis of thriller books, so I'm not going to explain all of them to you. I'm just gonna show it to you there. You can just search it on Goodreads. And then I have here Into the Darkest Corner by Elizabeth Haynes. I've just got this because it looks really, really interesting and I've seen some good reviews in Goodreads. So that's why I got this book. I don't know anyone who have read this, so yeah. And then we have here another book by an author that I've already read before. And this is Blindsided by Karine Slaughter. So I'm going to try to get into Karine Slaughter's series just because a lot of people really said that it's really, really good. So this is the first book of a series by her, so I'm super excited about this. Please do not ask me what is it about because I don't know. I really don't know and I don't want to read the synopsis. I'm so sorry. And then the last here that I have for adult thrillers, it's Final Girls by Riley Sager. I really, really like Riley Sager's setting and mood, you know, the vibe of his book. So I bought this, which people have said is one of his better books. So I'm looking forward to this one. Again, we don't know the synopsis. Do not ask me because of it's thriller. So last two books that I have in here are some horror graphic novels that I've been eyeing for such a long time, and I finally have two of his works. I have here some books by Junji Ito, which I'm so excited about. So the first one that I've got is this smashed beautiful cover. This is like short stories anthologies. We have here 13 horror stories. This is the book that I'm currently reading. I've kind of like annotating the parts that I get so much like goosebumps. Like it's so scary, it's so fucked up. I love it. And then I have here Uzumaki. This one is highly recommended by Trish, so I thought of getting this as my next Junji Ito purchase. So I just got this very recently, so I am very excited about this book. It's so thick, so I wasn't planning to get into this month, but hopefully very soon. This is a fiction and a whole novel, I guess, but I don't know anything about it. So those are all my book haul. It's finally done. My throat, it's so dry, so let's end this video here. And if you've reached this part, let me know what is your recent book haul, and is it something that you have already read or you haven't read yet, or you're going to read it in the next 5 years or so. I don't know with you, but let me know in the comment section so we could talk about it. But I'm going to end the video here. Let's rest for the day. Thank you so much for watching. And just remember, the world is yours for the reading. Bye, and see you on the next one. Ah! Ikaw po.